clamps back here. That weight's not in the way. Pull the batteries out of it. Pull this battery box frame. It'd just be easier to work on it with that out of the way. And same thing with the air cleaner and intake over here. Get all that off, get it out of the way. It'd just be way easier to deal with. Alright, so we got the battery box assembly off. I like the way they did this though. They put inserts in there. Some kind of insert in there. Almost like a Phoenix flange with threads in it. Kind of like the way they did that. I need that and that. I'm going to pull this intake assembly off next. We'll get the hose off. Oh shit. I didn't screw the clamp up. The damn gun was going the wrong way. Go ahead and zip these loose here. I've had the heads off this thing before. Remember, I think it had a broken head bolt one time. These old 290 Cummins, boy, they were tough. We had another customer that he's kind of half-ass retired now. We're gonna fix this when we got this thing here. This one's broke back here. We're just gonna it is broke clear in two. Off there a little easier than that. It's hung up on there pretty good. And the clamp's kind of sticking on the bottom a little bit. Okay, that one break? It's not broke. Must be just really short or something. Huh. Sure looks like that bolt's broke, doesn't it? There's no broken piece here. It's kind of interesting. Where did the other bolts go? They still... Am I losing my mind here? What'd I do with the other... what'd I do with the other bolts? Did I... Oh, there they are. What the hell's the deal with that one? Why is it so... I mean, it's broke, but there's... The hole's clean. Okay. Very strange. Okay, let me... Now we gotta get... We go ahead and pop these side panels off. Okay, now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty where we can get down to the engine here. I'll show you some features on these older Roadrunners that you saw a lot. These were air-operated throttles that ran the throttle arm going to the PT pump right here. So you have no throttle till you get air pressure built. So if you got no air pressure, yeah, you're not gonna have no throttle. And the other thing that you would have on these if you didn't have air, another thing we're gonna be getting rid of if we can. The problem that he's got, I gotta do more research on it, but okay, this is an air operated cylinder right here. This cylinder is air operated. This piston, this turns the hydraulics on and off on the machine. And this shaft is all screwed up. It's jury rigged on there right now, what we got to do is, I don't know, he's gonna have problems there, because I don't really see his Allison transmission's not PTO equipped. It doesn't even have the plate for it. So I'm not sure. I got to do more research on that. I don't even know if there's a PTO. I don't even know if you change stuff around on the bell housing and put a plate in it, if there's even a gear in there. I'm not sure. I got to call Allison. I don't think there is. I think the better solution to that, to be honest with you, he needs to find a trans. If he wants that Allison, he needs to find an Allison that has PTO, at least has the plate and the gear inside, and we could mount a Muncie PTO on it. You know, so anyway. So, the next thing is pull the hood. We're gonna even pull this grill off of there. And what we're gonna do when we pull this out, we're gonna pull the whole engine and transmission as one time and pull it out of here. Because once we get this off, we can just come right out the front and leave it all attached together. So we gotta drain the coolant out of it now. And yeah, gotta get this drive line off this pump here. I don't know, I don't know whether I should probably leave the pump on there for now. I'd like to leave the pump on there for now and not have to drain the whole hydraulic system. That's going to be a pain in the ass unless they put a shut-off. I'm not sure if they put a shut-off back there. I'd have to look, but anyways, we're going to zip these. How are we going to do this? Can't really get to those bolts on the end of that without... That's interesting the way that is, I'll tell you that. I put this air dryer in here. It didn't have an air dryer, and I put this air dryer in there years ago. Let's have a set screw there somewhere to pull that. There's an Allen right there. Is there more than one? Usually there's one on the key. There's usually one on the key and then one somewhere else, but I don't see. I only see the one. Yeah, but that'll be easy to get to once we get this off. Well, we're moving right along on this thing. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do here. I think I'm going to have to open the door, take the truck, back it out, turn it around, come back in here to where I can... I'm going to have to do that anyway and get a hold of it with the crane once I get everything loose. I've got to figure out how... I might have to just cut this out. I need to take those bottles to town and get them refilled. I've been putting it off. Man, you fill up them bottles on that cutting torch on either the truck or that. I mean, it's like $300 or $400 every time. So I hate to say it, I'd be a cheap ass. I'm like, I don't really want to do it. But I mean, I picked up 4 buckets of oil, and I used 3 of the 4 in that 40-20, and it was $137. A 5-gallon bucket for that oil. So like I say, the price of the value of the oil hasn't really changed. The value of the money you're buying it with, the purchasing power, has greatly diminished. I pull heater hoses. I pulled the air throttle air line over here, and I pulled the discharge line coming off the compressor. I pulled the tank line going to the air governor, and then the purge line. I undid it. I still got to get the fuel lines, supply and return. I got to get those off. There's one down below that air throttle assembly. I got to get the wires, the fuel shutoff solenoid off. And then they're using, not sure what they're using. They must be running the power steering off this pump right here. I got to get those lines loose too. But anyway, I'm kind of curious. No, I'm kind of going off track here a little bit, but I just wanted to see what it was doing outside. Now, I left early this morning. When it's snowing like that, I try to get up and leave at like 4:30, 5 o'clock before all the misfits get up and they're running off the road everywhere. It's just way easier when there's nobody on the road. Yeah, it's still trying to snow a little bit. Yeah. I don't know, we probably got maybe 3 or 4 inches here. There was probably good 8 inches at home up in Klamath when I left, and come 30 miles south and you got about half as much, which it depends. It'll probably catch up to it. Winter wonderland, huh? Thank God I got a roof over my head. Anyhow, so we'll continue on with this and see if we can get the old engine out of this thing. I pulled that air throttle assembly with the bracket and everything off there so I could get on these fuel lines a little bit easier. Probably should go get some caps and cap these to keep the shit out of them. And that's a supply line right there. That would probably be a wise decision. And he's going to put this engine on a pump head and just run a pump with it. So, probably should cap that too. And get a plug and a cap. Okay, so that's going to be a number 10, I believe. Yeah. Okay, got that off. What else? So none of that. So this line here needs to come off. That must be return. It should be 7/8, but I'm gonna have to get something to hold that. Should I just do like all these other guys do when they tear something apart? Just get the sawzall out and start cutting everything and destroying everything, and that wrecking yard shit those guys do just drives me fucking crazy. It's like, you know, they ruin a lot of good parts. Some of this stuff's starting to really, you know, with the state of our country, is really starting to be hard to come by. So anything that you can utilize and save, you better do it. So I need an 8. I need a number 8, male and female. Let's go get one of them and we'll plug that one. What is that down there? Something running off oil pressure. I had a 220 Cummins one time, and the guy, he had pulled his air compressor and everything because his cam follower boxes, which are these right here, he said, yeah, they're leaking really bad. He says, but yeah, I put some new gaskets on there, and he said, it don't leak anymore, but man, it really runs like shit, and it's smoking really bad. And I said, well, you know, them cam follower boxes, you get different thicknesses of gaskets, and that's what changes your injection timing. What? I said, yeah, that's your injection timing. There's a special tool that goes on that, and I said, you just can't put gas. I said, your parts guy didn't know any different? He didn't ask you what thickness of gasket you had on there? I said, you got your old gaskets? And he goes, I don't think so. I think we threw them all away. I said, well, you got to start over then. So I went out there. I didn't have the tool. My buddy Davey Manning, he had it. And I borrowed the injection timing tool and went over there and pulled all the shit back off the side of the block, pulled the cam followers, put the tool on there, and set the timing, figured out what thickness of gaskets I needed, and ordered the right gaskets for it and put them back on there, and it ran like ran like a top. But so if you're ever dealing with these old Cummins like this, you can't just start throwing gaskets on there. You got to figure out, you know, the best simplest way to do it is pull the gasket and take an outside mic and just measure the gasket. And sometimes the gaskets still have the part number stamped into them, and you can see the part number too. So just keep that in mind when you're working with these old Cummins. Well, we're underneath it now. Get something in my eye. You know what? I'm trying to think this through here. This 4-plate comes out of this thing, but I don't really know. Do we really? I mean, yeah, I guess we do. It'd be easier to get the shift tower off of it, but there's some of the things that, like the drive line, we can just do on the creeper underneath it. Some guy left a comment and he goes, "I'm sorry, I have to quit watching your channel. The constant camera movement is making me nauseated." I tell you what, the pussies that inhabit this planet now are just unbelievable. You're thinking to yourself, you know, all the shit that I go through every day, or any other heavy equipment mechanic or operator or something, or feedlot manager, you name it, the shit that we go through every day, and some guy he's getting nauseated because of the camera movement. He just can't watch it anymore. It's almost comical. Are you gonna be okay? Do you think you're gonna get through this? Oh, poor little guy. Look at that. The yokes are in time. That one we worked on yesterday, nothing was in time on it. I talked to him this morning. He went down to Turlock and back with a load of hay, and he said just way better. Night and day difference, he said. Looks like fairly new U-joint on this end. Maybe it'll come apart halfway decent. Okay, this end is. I've got a U-joint press too if I have to. But that in there. Definitely save this kind of stuff here. I mean, nothing wrong with these U-joints, nothing wrong with this drive line. There's a lot of these squeezes around too, so if you don't want the drive line, I'll take it. Use it on something else, you know. Let's see if I can just, you gotta watch that son of a bitch. So it's trying to fall out of that other end already. Fall out and hit me right in the balls or something. Okay, so we gotta. Was coming out of there before, now it don't want to come out. The bitch was kind of trying to fall out of there on its own now. Come out of there. Fucking bastard is what it's been. Man, hard-headed prick, huh? I'm trying to get the slip up. There ain't much slip on it to collapse. Huh. Oh, damn it, I should have brought a bar under here with me and I didn't do it. There we go. Come on, you son. Try to get that. Or I could pull on it. There we go. Okay. Now this end's got to get a little bit maybe. There we go. Whew. She's fighting me a little bit, huh? She's being a little hard-headed. Man, what a pain in the ass, huh? Ah! I got it out of there. Okay. Let's put the caps back on it. Let's see, that's the wrong end. So it didn't really matter, but... Put the caps on a U-joint here. Put the bolts back in the yoke that way they're accounted for. It's going to be a little different situation on that. You're going to have to have a driveline made, because basically you're taking a heavy duty type driveline. That driveline on that other one, the yokes aren't near as big, so you're going to have to adapt it. Go from a small yoke on the output shaft of the transmission to the large yoke on the end of this. But one thing about it, that little 3126B is quite a bit smaller. And I was sitting there thinking about all that shit last night, and I thought, you know, this actually is going to be not that bad of a job to do. It will be nothing like that truck. There's a lot of things you can get away with on this hay squeeze that you can't get away with on a truck because it's going through the scale. But what we'll do is we'll just mock it up to the front, just like kind of like we did the truck with that ISL 9, and we'll have one thing that's beneficial in this whole situation is this back drive line can be a lot longer, and it'll be easier to deal with in the future too for him. Because that was always a big problem with this thing, was this little short coupled drive line that was back here. Okay, so I thought I brought some other tools with me under here, but apparently I didn't. Anyway, got to cut a couple 3/4, because there's on the cross shaft for the throwout bearing, this has 2 clutch pedals. There's one on each side, so you got to pull the linkage off on each side for the clutch pedals. We got to pull the supply going to the regulator. And then this floor pan comes out of this cab. Then we can get in there and get the shift bar housing off the top. Or does it? Well, yeah. We're going to need the room anyway when we're putting all this shit back in here and reconfiguring everything. I might turn these... I might just shut the fuel off on this thing. You know what? I'll probably forget about it and won't be able to get the other one started. And then I'll finally figure out... Yeah, you turned the fuel off, stupid. So, these guys, I mean, this is the way shit should be made. Make stuff to where you can work on it. I mean, they made this thing where you could deal with it. I mean, this whole floor comes out of there and everything's accessible. You know, I will say this, I don't think the Roadrunners, I don't think the Sunny D ones are like this. I like this a hell of a lot better. I mean, it's so much easier to deal with these, and some of the newer stuff you had to work on. Oh man, somebody was really thinking when they did this. So let's pull the shift bar housing off, because we're going to pull the whole thing out as an assembly. And I want to get my, let's put this up here maybe. See if that'll work. Yeah, I think that'll work. I'll probably put this light down in there too. Let's see, I want to, I got my little Milwaukee shop back. I got a battery in it and I got it on blow. Still a good transmission, so I want to pull the shift bar housing. I got a cover and a gasket I can stick over that hole. already pulled the shifter and the spaghetti lines out. This is probably like an RTLO 9513 or something like that, I'm guessing. I doubt. I mean, it's still a good transmission and everything, but it really, you know, it's kind of a everything, even like an ISL9 Cummins has way more torque than these old 290s and 220s did. I had a guy one time, he took a RTLO like 16913 or what the hell was it? It was a 13 speed, but it was a higher like 1600 foot-pound rated torque transmission. It was behind a C model Cat, and this guy somebody his give him an RTLO 9513. He called me, says something broke in this transmission after my first load. And I said, I went out there and looked at it, and I said, you stick that in there? And he goes, well, yeah, my other transmission went out, and I found this one, and I put it in there. And I said, you realize that that's a 950 foot-pound rated torque transmission that you've got behind an engine that's putting out 16 to 1800 foot-pounds of torque? You're putting out twice as much torque as that transmission's rated for? No, I didn't. No, that's what's going on with you there. Just finger tightening to be good enough. But I mean, maybe there's somebody else out there that might be able to utilize this thing or something. This thing got longer bolts on the back, or what the hell, you know? Damn, you don't want to reach back there. Yeah, the bolts aren't long enough. Yeah, they are. Just barely. Alright. Take this support off, 15/16, and I didn't bring one of those over here. Gotta get the supply going to the regulator off, get the linkage off for the throwout bearing, or the clutch forks, which are 3/4. And this one here should be the one supply going to the regulator right here, which must be adjusted up a little too big. Yeah, pretty good deal there. Got that one off, and 15/16, pull those two off. I guess we don't really need either one of these, even where they go up to this cross shaft or nothing. We don't need the clutch pedal, none of that shit anymore, really, because it's going to have an automatic in it. So I guess we could be better if I just went and got my impact and zip those off instead of dicking around trying to do it by hand. Well, we take all this. I mean, I don't know if he just wants to leave them in there for, I don't know really. I didn't really discuss that part with him, but you don't really need it. I guess for now what we can do is just zip them off here where they go into the transmission, because that's the part we don't need at all for certain. So I still gotta get this off of here. It will not come loose. So we got the old torch with the rosebud on it. Did I turn the bottles on? Let me go look. I don't remember. Well, my clutch piston showed up in Klamath there at the the UPS access point. Whoa! Hey! Look out! I'll get you off there, you dirty bastard. Okay. See what happens now. Still ain't really wanting to move, huh? I see movement now, maybe. I should get that part of my bar in there to pry on it. That ain't really happening. Huh, okay. Gotta be a different way to do this somewhere. How about if I try to wedge this in here? Wow, that dirty bastard is frickin' on there now. Holy shit, that thing's on there. Maybe I need to roll it over and heat the other side, maybe? I don't know. Roll this thing over if I can. This thing is preventing me from getting the motor mount out. I need to get the. That's another thing. Yeah, you wonder if the crankshaft damper is going to come off of it. Something would happen now. Where's that chisel at? Okay, she's moving now. Wow. It work for it. Wonder if this big bar will go down in there. Fan blades in the way. Can't quite get that in there. I don't think this is going to have enough power or enough leverage. No, it just ain't. Nothing's happening here. Doesn't piss me off now, fucker. miserable bastard. Do you think he'll come out of there now? What's that big bar at? Pretty bastard still. Moving. Oh, I get a puller on it now, but I'm almost there now. The problem was I couldn't get the puller legs in behind this. I could do it now, but I'm almost off now. Okay, finally got it loose. I had to heat every one of those bolts individually and break them loose. You can't get a socket on there, so you had to break them all loose by hand with the open end wrench. Stinking stuff. Over here somewhere. Maybe get rid of some of that smoke. Damn it. That's all I need is it in the hay chaff there. Catch all that on fire. Jesus. Bastards are hot. Hot. Alright, so got rid of the hot tamale. And that's still hot. Now I can get an impact on the damn motor mounts. Alright, cool deal. Good deal, man. Now we're kicking ass, I hope. Oh, hang on, huh? Get the bigger battery in here. Let's try the bigger battery. Alright, alright. Folks, we're just about ready to start lifting on it. I gotta pick things up and sort things out here and make a hole for the... I gotta have somewhere to set that engine. Oh. Get it out of there and then we'll go over there. Once we get this one out and get her on the floor, we'll clean this up in here, get her nice and sanitary. And I'm not sure what kind of mount's on the front of that other one. Being it's in a school bus, it's probably something goofy. think it would pick up on the back of that transmission. I thought I would have way more of an angle than that. I really did. I need to come ahead about another foot and then I'll have it out of there, but I'm having trouble. If I turn loose of it now, it might wind up in a big disaster. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do here. I really didn't suspect come along. Either come along to the front. What if I could come along, take a come along and hook it to the boom up there on that hook, and then pull the nose up. I'm gonna try it. Well, we're gaining. Just keep dicking with it till I get it out of there. I don't know where to put this camera at. Put her up there maybe, huh? It had a smudge on the camera lens. How's that look? up underneath it now. That wasn't so much fun. I got her out of there without tearing anything up. Only thing I broke was my damn cover. Son of a bitch. She won't stand up on her own 2 feet, so I gotta block it up somehow so it don't fall over. Yeah. Anyway, well, and I gotta buy a new dryer cartridge. That's the only thing I screwed up. The pan plug hit it right there and dented the shit out of it. Other than that, we got her out of there.